Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Avonlea Chronicles. My name is Martha and I'm here to talk about all things knitting and crafting. I am back in my living room. Last weekend I was finally able to clean my house, and then I moved my plants back and I rearranged them, and then I had a friend want to help me move my furniture, so we did that after work on Monday. And so I've been able to use my living room again, clean it, and really start to organize all of my knitting projects. So that is really exciting because I have so much to do and so much to work on, and I've needed to just get it all out and organized, which is what I started to do last night. I also had such a crazy week teaching. Tuesday, I was with the same class all week, and Tuesday we had a Bugs in the Mud presentation where the kids just got to explore water with bugs in it. And Wednesday, a student had a birthday party with both of the classes because it's a team teaching situation. So we swapped kids' classes partway through the day. And they had like one of those Zoo to You people come, but this was just like a person that has their own business, and they came with exotic animals. There were 7 animals. We started out low and slow. We had a small gecko, 2 baby tortoises, a toad. Then we got to a tarantula. Now I am terrified of spiders. And so she's like had pulled it out and just kept it in her hands, the person that was doing this. And so like I kind of figured that was what it was, and I don't know, I was creeped out, but I didn't like run out of the room or anything. And one of my students, he was like, I don't want to do this anymore, at about like the toad, and there was 40 kids, so it was a long wait for her to pass each animal around and like for them to touch it and look at it. So yeah, there was a lot of waiting. So anyway, he's like, I'm not touching the spider. No way, not doing it. I don't like spiders. And I was like, dude, I don't like spiders either. But if you do it all, like, let's do it together. And all it was a high five of the spider. Just a quick little boop. That's it. That's all it was. Because there was too many of us for us to each, like, you know, put our hand out, have the spider on it. So I was like, I'll do the high five spider with you. So we did it together. We both put our fingers out and we just went boop, like millisecond, super fast. Then there was some type of lizard. And then this kid that didn't want to do it, he was kind of off doing something else. And I was more like focused on him for a minute. So I didn't see the 6th animal that came out of, they're in the black bins with the yellow lids that are used for like international moving. I did not see what was in that box until it was already out. I just all of a sudden look over and there is a massive snake. It is a python. It's like 8 feet. And I just am like, I start breathing like so heavily because I am terrified of snakes. And I'm like in my head going, oh F, like I'm about to like shit my pants. There's a snake in here. And like I wanted to run out of the room, but I was like, no, I gotta be brave for the kids. And so my dad said, I remember saying to my dad, I'm like, how much would you pay me to touch a snake if I had the opportunity? And he was set $100. So I texted him and I'm like, how much would you pay me to touch a snake? He said $50. And I was like, you remember one time you told me $100 to touch a snake? I was like, 100, and I'll do it for more than 5 seconds, because I had asked him, how much would you pay me to touch a tarantula? And he had said $50, but when he saw the video and saw how fast it was, we negotiated on 25. So I was the last person to do the snake, and I was shaking, and the kids were trying to like hand me the end of the snake, and like I had a video I can't post the video because there's too many kids in the way in the video, but I like took some screenshots. Both my hands are on the snake. I look like I'm blessing the snake. But put my hands on the snake. I counted in my head to like 8 or 9 seconds, took them off, faced my 2 biggest fears. And yeah, so that was a big day. And yeah, it was just a wild week. So that was my week, and now I don't usually film on Saturdays, but I'm filming today because I have a whole bunch of meetings and choir practice and stuff after church tomorrow, and I usually film on Sundays after church. I'm in my Teach Knit Sleep Repeat sweater because it is so warm and cozy, and it is so cold right now. So yeah, so let's get into some knitting. Some of my stuff just fell. So I've been working on knitting my squares for this like fanny pack bum bag, and I have them blocking on my blocking mat. I don't have one of the like, you can get, it's like a wooden pegboard with pegs for blocking crocheted granny squares, but I don't have one of those, so I just had to measure out and pin 2 squares, and then I just put my cotton squares over the pins, and now they're going to dry. I assume it will take those several days because they're 2 strands together, so it's quite thick, and I've got them stacked like 2 or 3 on top of each other. It really just needs a good like day or 2 in the sun, and the window is right here, so once we get a sunny day, they should dry pretty quick laying on the mat in the sun. But I did go out and get a whole bunch of other stuff for the bags. I got some zippers and 2 different sizes of D-rings to clip the straps to. And I got a fat quarter to line the bags, and right now it's all in this little clear bag. This clear bag is from a mattress cover. So if you're ever getting like a mattress cover or something and it comes in these clear bags, this makes a good project bag. It's just a good clear bag so I can see all of the stuff that's in it. So yeah, I got that. And then I also got, I decided not to use a knit strap just because I felt like it would stretch. I have to go get one of my other bags in just a minute. But when my friend and I were talking about these bags last summer, and I was like, oh, I should totally, instead of a crocheted granny square bag, I should knit squares and sew it up the same way and make the same type of bag, but knit, because I haven't seen any knit ones. I see a lot of granny square bags with crocheted straps, but I also see ones with pre-made bag straps. So I ordered some bag straps because in the end I'll have 3 bags that I'm probably gonna give to, I'm gonna give some of them away. So I got a like bright pink, a light pink, and then a light purple, all with like a cream, like beige background, so it'll match with the bag, like with the yarn. So I got that, and once the squares dry, I'm going to start constructing the bag, trying to figure out how I want to line the bag. I just saw a video the other day on Instagram where somebody had sewn their squares together flat, and then they put their lining on. This was for a different style of bag, but then they sewed their lining on, and then they sewed the bag up in the way that the bag will be constructed. So I was thinking of trying that, but I was also thinking of just trying like folding the fabric in half and then cutting like a semicircle. I probably have to sew a seam. Oh, I might not to if I fold it, do it on the fold. I might have to sew a seam down the middle, but doing like a semicircle and then just sewing the lining to the top. And I haven't decided. I have to look at like some of the crocheted bags and see how they're constructed, but I haven't decided what to do, like, and this is part of like figuring it out. Once I sew the squares together, some crocheted bags have like they crochet around the top, then they put the zipper in, but others don't. So I just have to like see how I would do that, but with knitting. So yeah, and I'm doing a whole bunch of different types of squares. So I grab what I already have. I did some stripes, and then I did a stockinette square, and I thought it would be really cool, like on the stockinette square, if I do find some scrap yarn, and you could totally duplicate stitch like an initial on it or some type of other design to really personalize it. So I thought that would be fun. I did some striping, and then I just did some solid garter stitch squares, and then I've got somewhere I'm doing seed stitch right now, and I'm doing 2 at a time. I got 4 solid squares out of like 2 balls of pink, and each ball is 50 grams. So I got 4 solid squares of pink held double, and then I was able to stripe 2 squares. So I was able to get 5 squares held double with 2 50-gram balls of this cotton that I'm using. So now I'm working on the beige or like cream color, and then I've got purple. So I've got some other stitch patterns planned for those, just to give it like some interest, because these are solid colors. But if you got like a variegated color, you could do just garter stitch or stockinette stitch to show off the color of the wool, and then you just make it plain and like let the yarn speak. So that's what I'm doing for that. I'm kind of at a place where I need to knit some more squares, wait for these ones to dry, and then I can start like experimenting with the construction of the bags. So it's kind of in all over the place right now for that one. My 4-season collection, my spring shawl came out, the Spring Buds shawl, on the first day of spring, and I have the summer pattern ready to go. I just don't have it with me, but I'll talk about it next time because that will be closer to the release date. But I have had the winter pattern on my needles for quite a while, and this is all I've gotten. Only gotten this far. So this is Cascade 220 in worsted weight. I have 2 more balls, so I just need to like put this on the couch and just work on it. I either need to work on it and do like 1 or 2 pattern repeats every time I sit down and knit, or I just need to decide one weekend that I'm going to tackle, or 1 week and weekend that I'm going to tackle this and only work on this till it's finished. And pretty much the pattern is written. I just need to finish knitting this so I can say how much yarn it took and how long it is going to be and what the dimensions are. But I need to work on this. Even though it won't be released till December, I just want to get it done so I can finish writing the pattern and have it like out of my way. The next thing is, I have not done like any knitting this week, but this is, ooh, there's a bug on here. Did not expect that. This is my Mrs. Potts inspired shawl. Wow, I got so thrown off by the bug. This is my Mrs. Potts inspired shawl, and I have started the second ball or skein of yarn, and I'm just knitting through this textured section. The way this pattern works out to make a semicircle is you double your stitches and you double the rows every time you do a new section. So this section of textured stitch is going to be quite long, so I just need to like keep plugging away at it. But it's quite like mindful and meditative and easy to memorize, so it's just another one that I have to like sit down and plug away on, but I'm super excited to get back to it and to have it done. I can't wait to see it all like spread out in a semicircle, but it's too big now to take my needle minders off to like really see how it's working out. But I can't wait to see what it looks like. And then I had another idea for a pattern come through, so I looked in my stash. I'm trying to like keep this idea shelved away just because like I want to do all the things. But I pulled out this pale pink. I got it at a yarn swap. It is from, so I have like no idea. I haven't even looked to see if this person still dyes yarn. But it is from Story Made Yarns, Tally's Forest Flock, and it is in the color Blushing Pink, and it is 85% Norbele wool from Norwood, Ontario, and 15% Tussa silk from India. It's lace weight and 300 yards for 50 grams. So, have an idea, and this is what I'm going to use for it, and see how it works out. There also was like there was no notes on this ball band to say like what size of needle or yarn hook to use, so I had to go hunting for a yarn weight chart online just to see what size needle I should use to get a gauge. So we'll see what happens. I'm never worried too much about gauge, and maybe I should be. But sometimes it doesn't matter too much. But that's what I'm going to maybe work on. I'm trying not to cast on all the things. So yeah. And then been itching to cross stitch since I finished my big one. So I pulled this one out again, and this is going to be the Ukrainian flag mixed with the Union Jack. So I have the blue of the Ukrainian flag started, which is half blue, half yellow, and this is one half of the flag. The other half will be half of the Union Jack. So this is just something that I'm going to plug away on the days when I feel like I want to cross stitch. So yeah, I have a few other this one is not a kit. This was just like something that I wanted to make. But I do have some other cross stitch kits that I can't wait to start. So those are all my projects. I'm just gonna go grab one thing because I wanted to talk about it in relation to the bags that I'm making. Okay, so this is the Party Girl bag by the Knit Edit, and it's just a scrappy project. She makes and designs like all of her knitting with 2 or 3 strands of wool, so it makes it like a more bulky weight, and you can do like all this marling and stuff. So I made this bag. The strap is an I-cord, but when I was making the I-cord, I had remembered that I had this thin webbed strap, and I thought, oh my goodness, this would be perfect. Like, I think I can stretch the webbing, or I think I can stretch my I-cord through the webbing, and then my I-cord isn't going to stretch because like your knitting has some stretch to it. And I thought, once I get wearing this, like the I-cord is really going to stretch. So it doesn't look great in some places on the one side, but was able to thread the strap through the I-cord. So now I have a solid strap, which is partly why when I decided to make the bags, I decided to buy pre-made straps. I also went for these super cute heart carabiners because like the bag that she had made had like sort of bigger, chunkier hardware on it. So I went for these cute little heart carabiners. But here's the thing. My mom helped me line this, and you knit the bag. I'm trying to like open it out as flat as I can, but you start and you go wide on both sides, you hit a middle point, and then you go in. So we laid it out flat to line it, and then I sewed the lining in and then sewed the zipper in. But what happened was, because I lined the knit fabric, the bag, when you don't line it, because it didn't say to do a lining, like you sew the zipper across the like part that's wide. So while mine is curved, that like once you knit, like this curve actually lies flat once you put the zipper in, and it curves at the bottom here. But because I lined this, and I lined it from the shape of the knit fabric, this top part curves, and it often like flips upside down, or it's just awkward. So I was thinking of ripping out all of this, getting a new piece of fabric, and taking this shape, but cutting a piece of fabric that is flat along the top and curves at the bottom, and then sewing it in so that my zipper will lay flat, the top will lay flat, this bottom part will be curved, because right now it's kind of like it's supposed to be flat and curve at the bottom, but it's kind of upside down. So that's what I'm thinking of doing is, and then I would also have to rip this out and maybe stitch this a little bit differently. But that's what I'm thinking of doing, just because it's did not turn out the way that I thought it would. And as I wore it, like it kind of was not as comfortable because it's not the shape that it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be flat at the top and curved at the bottom. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But that's what I'm thinking of doing. Getting a piece of fabric, doing straight across the top, curved at the bottom, like a half circle. So then it will not become this shape, because I think the idea with this was that once you sew the zipper in, the curved edges then become flat and the bottom part takes that curved shape, which it's kind of doing. It's kind of doing it on both sides. But it's only because I lined it with fabric. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. And I really just lined it with fabric just as like a protective measure, just to like give it some more stability, to make sure like nothing would fall out, even though nothing is going to fall out. But I just thought it would give it some more stability and protection. But I'm thinking I'm going to reline it. So yeah, the comments below, if you have any other ideas on how I should reline it, let me know. But pretty much what I'm going to do for my other bags is what I'm thinking of doing for this one. I just have to take it all apart first and probably just get another fat quarter to line it with. But I'll open up the fat quarter that I have and like see if that's like the right dimensions to line this. But I want to wear this more and use it more. I just find this curve is so awkward that it's like not really working out. Like it's just weird. Needs to just be flat at the top and then the bottom curved. So that was what I'm going to do. And it will probably help me in the long run if I reline this with the bags that I'm making. But really, like, I feel like it's all an experiment. So that is what I'm doing, because I really love this. Like, I love being able to just throw like lip gloss, phone, wallet, EpiPen, depending on where I'm going, in here. Like I don't need my purse. Like if I go to church on Sunday in the summers when there's no choir practice or anything, I just need to throw like my keys, my phone, lip gloss in here. I don't even need my wallet. Like, so I love like being able to take this out when I don't need a ton of stuff or I don't need my full purse. So yeah, and I love that I used like different scraps and like some of them have memories and I can kind of tell. I also went for sort of like rainbowish fade. So yeah, I just found like it's such an awkward like, and because it's curved and it opens kind of weird, like I find things might like fall out because it's not the right shape. So, oh, also like throwing my glasses in here too. So yeah, I'm going to reline this. I think it will be much more wearable once I reline it. Yeah, these bags are all the rage right now, which is why I thought knitting one instead of crocheting one. I've never crocheted a granny square, and I said, oh, I put my two of my purple balls in there for that other crocheted granny square bag that I want to make. But the crochet granny fanny packs are like all the rage. But I thought I've never seen knit ones, and it's an easy, low risk project. Like I've maybe spent like $30 on like the extra stuff, like zippers, lining, the D-rings, and the strap. Probably like all together for one bag was like 30 extra bucks. And then I had the wool from another project that I ended up not making. So yeah, I'm just experimenting and like seeing how it goes. So yeah, those are all my projects. And then my hands have been so dry, and I don't know whether it's knitting with the cotton or like the season change or both. It feels like it's been some days like super muggy and humid, and then it pours rain, And then other days it's been really hot and really dry, but my hands have been so dry. So I've been trying a bunch of stuff. So the first that I've been using is this goat milk lotion. It's fragrance free and it's from Beekman 1802. My friend gave me their soap 2 years ago, fragrance, and she was like, I made sure it was fragrance free. And I was like, that was like so touching because I'm allergic to fragrance. So then at Christmas, and she's given me the soap like several other times since then. I love it. It's like a massive bar of soap and I use it every day in the shower for my whole body. But then at Christmas, she gave me the lotion and it's so good. I use it for my whole body. I use it on my face. It doesn't leave your skin greasy, so it's really good. They have a hand lotion. I just haven't gotten it yet. I don't know where to get this. But I've been using this on my hands if I want something that's like not greasy. I just can't carry this around with me. Then, as like a just because gift a while back, like end of February, beginning of March, my friend gave me a bar of chocolate and this Burt's Bees hand salve. She's like, this is my favorite hand salve, like to use after I've been gardening. So like I have been using it on my hands. I've been using it on my feet. It's really good, but it leaves your hands like oily and greasy. So I usually just put it on at night because like I don't want to get like grease and oils all over my knitting. So then the other day we were talking about, I was like, I need a hand lotion that I can just like throw in my purse, but I don't know what to get because everything that I buy comes from Young Living and they have a hand and body lotion, but it just comes in a bottle like this. They don't have it in a little travel container tube that's convenient. So we just happened to be out at the store the other day and she's like, oh, let's go see what like hand lotion Burt's Bees has. So we went and looked and there was like a tube of hand lotion that was like super inexpensive, but it was like heavily fragranced. And then more of like the original product, there was like a honey one in a tube, and then there was this almond and milk hand cream in a little glass jar. So that's what I decided to try. It's pretty good. It also leaves your hands a little bit greasy, but so far so good. I haven't used it and then gone right to knitting, but I've used it like after knitting, especially with the cotton, and it's been really good. I've only used it a few times because like I just got it this week. But yeah, and then I got this the other night. Haven't used it at all yet, but like to throw in my backpack. The Camel hand cream, chamomile and glycerin. It is vegan. It is from Germany, and so I know in Europe like there's a lot of chemicals they can't put in their products. So like it has no parabens, mineral oils, paraffins, artificial colorants, animal ingredients, and is not tested on animals, and is dermatologically approved, and is vegan. So I thought I would try this, like throw it in my school bag. I'm just trying anything to help my hands because they're so dry. And I don't know what it is. Might just be the season change and also knitting with cotton. I don't knit with cotton like hardly at all. So it's not as soft as wool. So that has been what I'm trying. I will let you know when I come back and podcast in a few weeks how this is. But so far, I'd say my like top tier hand products are these two tins of hand salve and almond and milk hand cream from Burt's Bees. these would be my go-to products to help your hands stay moisturized I would suggest after you're knitting, because they are a little bit oily, but they work. This I also put on my feet. My feet are so dry too, so put that on today and then put some socks on. I'll do it again like before bed. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Those are my projects, the things that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna go clean up the mess. I've also had to lay my projects out like on the on my foam mats that my squares are blocking on. I've had to lay out my projects so I can like keep track of what I'm working on because it's a little overwhelming. And then I can just pick one project off Square, work on it, and then when it's done, put it away. I also have been trying a different way of managing writing my patterns. So normally like I will print out a stitch pattern and oh, like this is this is the formula for the half pie shawl, an invention of Elizabeth Zimmerman. So like this is the formula for that. Normally I would just start writing my pattern out on the back of this, but I decided not to this time. This is like one of the stitch patterns that I've printed out. So normally I would just like write on the back of these and like have them kind of strewn around, like my winter scarf pattern. That is written on a piece of paper somewhere that I have to find. But I decided with this Mrs. Potts inspired shawl, my half pie shawl, to start writing the pattern in a notebook. So like everything is contained in one spot. So this is it. All the pattern, like the actual pattern, all the pattern repeats, everything is in here. And this is how I'm trying to manage keeping everything like organized and contained and not just on a bunch of papers everywhere, because I'm looking at like a little trunk that I have yarn in that's got piles of paper on top because it's a little bit scattered when I write. So I'm trying to keep everything all in one place, and so far it is working. God forbid I lose this, because this is like the most important thing. It's got the pattern in it, so I can't lose it. But yeah, so I'm trying to manage the craziness that is designing a pattern. So I'm gonna go clean, and then I'm gonna reorganize all this, and then I'm gonna go knit, and I will see you back here in a couple of weeks.